Hi there, it's Sandra here from Here in Ridge Greenhouses, and today I've invited you into my kitchen to try something a little different. With the heavy rain that we had last night, my peony flowers were looking a little sad outside, but they had beautiful blossoms. So what I did is I went outside and picked my own, and I picked some from my sister-in-law as well, and I'm going to make some peony jelly. Now, I definitely wanted the most fragrant peonies I could find, but I also wanted some darker ones that maybe aren't quite as fragrant, but I wanted the color of them. So now that I've got them all picked, I'm going to need to make sure that there isn't any little friends in there. And I also want to only take the petals, not the green parts of the flower. So I'm just going to pull them apart and put all the leaves into a bowl. So now that I've got all my petals pulled off of my peony flowers and I've made sure there's no little friends living in there, I'm just going to add 5 cups of boiling water to my petals. And then all I'm really going to do is let that sit for at least 6 hours, and if I want to, I can leave it sit overnight to get them to really infuse into the boiling water. I gotta be honest, it doesn't smell too good at this point, but I'm just going to hold fast to the fact that this is going to be fabulous jelly. Hey there, so it's been about 6 hours since I put the boiling water on my peony petals. And they've kind of turned into a mush. They smell kind of neat though. And so now my next step is to put them through a sieve, but I've lined my sieve with cheesecloth so that I don't get any little bits of the petals through. So I'm there we go. Don't want to lose any little guys. So just going to give that a little squish so I get every little bit out of there I can. Okay, so my juice is all strained and ready to go, and I ended up with about 3.5 cups of peony liquid. So what I'm going to do now is add 3 tablespoons of lime juice. Awesome. And I'm going to turn on the heat and get this ready to go. Now, added to my lime juice, I'm going to put in 3 cups of sugar. Okay, now that my liquid is just starting to boil, I'm going to add my liquid certo, pectin. Doesn't really matter what brand you use. I'm going to just use 1 package because I don't want my jelly to be super thick. If you really like a thick jelly, you could add more, but I think 1 package is going to be a nice amount. You want to make sure you get it all in there. So squish it out all the way from the end. Okay. Don't like that. Tastes terrible. Oh. And then we're just going to whisk that in. And you need to watch this now because if it boils over, you're going to have a terrible mess all over your stove. So stay with it, keep stirring, and let it boil for about 3 minutes. So my 3 minutes of boiling are up, and as you can see, this is still very liquidy. But I feel pretty confident that as it cools, it's going to set up quite nicely. And if not, it'll be a little bit thinner of a jelly, but that's okay. I've got a feeling it's going to be quite sweet, and from the aroma coming out of it, it's going to be really a neat taste. So as with any preserving, you want to make sure that your jars are all sterilized and that your snap lids have been boiled to soften them. And then you're just going to go ahead and fill your little containers. Look how pretty that is. I just love it. Okay, and after my lid's ready to go here, let's put that little guy down there. These are pretty warm, so you got to be careful because that's a boiling liquid in that jar. Tighten that on, and as it cools, that little snap down, and there I have my first jar of peony jelly. Give it a try. You never know, you just might like it. Thanks so much for watching, and happy growing.